What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fragrance. I have another video for you today. This is a fragrance that I've actually owned for about 3 years. I've used up, I want to say, little over half the bottle, and it's one that I actually like a lot. And I think this gets kind of mixed reviews. I wanted to make my own review because I think that this is a really solid fragrance for the price point in a designer range. From a great designer that I love a lot. So today we're going to be talking about Dolce & Gabbana K Eau de Parfum. There's a couple different concentrations of this fragrance on the market now. Started off with the EDT, which is, I think, widely considered to be the worst of the bunch, even though I've never smelled it, so I can't give my own thoughts on that. That's just what I see. There is now a Parfum concentration. This, I think, is by many considered to be a huge step up from the EDT. I like this fragrance a lot. As you can see, I've gone through, I put a pretty big dent in this bottle. I will say, in terms of the presentation, you get this kind of very weird plastic and like metal accented crown cap, which is, interesting to say the least. And honestly, it's a little strange because, I don't know, the one from Dolce & Gabbana is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. At some point, I'll have to do a review of that. This is a good fragrance, I gotta say, especially for the warmer weather. Let's put a couple sprays on. Atomizer's really good, by the way. I'm wearing it, by the way, right now as my scent of the day, but it's kind of been drying down, so I want to do tester strip. Yeah, this is just a really nice fragrance, guys. I'm pulling up the notes right now so I can tell you guys what I smell. And this has kind of a big breakdown, but I get a couple things more pronounced than others. So there's a blood orange in here, which is super prominent to me. Now, I don't know if it's specifically blood orange that I'm smelling because I don't really know what a distinctively blood orange smells like, but definitely a sweet, somewhat syrupy, still a little tangy orange scent. You get some juniper and some lemon up top. That citrus is really pronounced. There's a fig in here that starts to come out a bit more in the dry down, at least the mid to the deeper dry down. Now, I actually did a review yesterday of Philosopos from Diptyque, and that's pretty much to this day the best fig fragrance I've ever smelled. Fresh fig. This has more of a sweet fig kind of scent to it, and it is pretty nice. I gotta tell you, this is a really nice fragrance. In the base, you have vetiver, which is, I think, the most prominent thing you're gonna get, and then there's also cedar, and I'm seeing patchouli. I'm not really getting too much patchouli out of this. I mostly get the vetiver in the base. So when it really dries down, I have it on my hand. Yeah, you get this nice kind of fresh aromatic vetiver, not too earthy, but kind of fresh, a little bit sweet, mixing in with that fig, and it's still a little bit left of that orange. Now, this is just a classically, I shouldn't say classically because there's nothing classical about this, but it is a just easygoing, sweet, fresh fragrance that is going to get the job done. I throw this on pretty much anytime I just want a no-brainer fragrance that's going to smell good. I've received a few compliments on this throughout my life of wearing this, and that's honestly nothing to kind of scoff at, because despite what people will make you think on YouTube, compliments are very rare to get, even in the world of fragrances. If you do get a compliment, usually if I get a compliment, it's from my girlfriend or my mom. That's usually the main times I'm going to get a compliment. Maybe sometimes your friends, people that feel comfortable with you, they will give you a compliment. I gotta say though, in the grand scheme of things, strangers are rarely going to give you a compliment. It goes to that psychological awkwardness that there is of you don't really know someone, it's a little bit strange to say, hey, I don't know if you've been told today, but you smell really nice. That's just it's a little awkward. People don't really like to go out and do that. I do that because I'm very into fragrance. So if I smell one that I really like on someone, I'll let them know. And because it's nice to be told that your fragrance smells good. But the majority of the population isn't going to be doing that. But this is a good fragrance. I have gotten a few compliments on this. Funny story, I've actually also gotten told while wearing this at a business lunch that I sprayed too much on. I actually got a call later from a person I was interviewing with, and they pretty much told me, they were like, nice to meet you, it was a nice lunch, blah, 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 but I gotta tell you, you gotta go easy on the fragrance. It was kind of overpowering at our lunch. And that day, it was a summer day, so I think it was just projecting heavier than I anticipated. But, I only put on like 4 or 5 sprays of this. And apparently that was enough to overpower some people. So, but yeah, I gotta tell you, really nice, pleasant scent. Fresh, sweet, fruity. And by fruity, it's not like a dense, super like, tropical or fruit basket kind of scent. It's like fruity in the sense that you get that sweetness and a little bit of that punch, like a tanginess from the fruit. The fruit in this is really providing more of a tanginess. There's also fresh cardamom that I forgot to mention, providing kind of this creamy sweetness to the fragrance while still maintaining that freshness. So it's got a really nice balance going on between creaminess, freshness, zinginess, and a little bit of tang, which just smells really good. And this will do the job in pretty much any situation. You can dress this up, you can dress this down. It's kind of going to do everything for you. The price on this is going to run you about $50 at discounters, which I think is really solid for a full-size bottle. This isn't a tester either. I mean, this is like a full-size, full presentation, no tester, nothing bottle. I think this ran me like $50 when I bought it. So the price hasn't really changed too much on it. I don't really see it going lower than probably like 45, just because it's an eau de parfum concentration, and Dolce & Gabbana's they do get discounted pretty heavily, but they do stay at around, the $50 mark. The only exception to that, I think, is light blue. Some of the flankers and the original occasionally will drop lower than that. I think K is really good. I think it is worth the hype and deserves more hype. I think this is a really good blue fragrance from the brand. Just really good, easy to go in, pleasing fragrance. The longevity is actually really solid on this. I can clock about 6 hours, which is pretty good for me because fragrances dissipate pretty readily off my skin. So for me, that's rock solid. Usually I'll spray this on early in the morning when I'm wearing this, and then I'll give myself a touch up about 5 hours later. But yeah, I don't really know what else I can say about this. I like having this in the collection. I think it's really solid. I think it's, especially going into summer, this is a fragrance that should be on your radar. It just does a great job. Really, really nice. Do the atomizer one more time. Really good. Nice dispersion. Nothing show-stopping, crazy about this scent. They play it pretty safe with this, but it's got a lot of stuff that I like. I like that sweet orange. I like that fig. I like that cardamom. Kind of all blends together well, and it just creates this kind of blue concoction that, it has a distinctive smell. I don't really know a whole lot else that smells like this, and it's good. So it's my review of K Eau de Parfum. Definitely check it out. Great designer, great fragrance. Maybe someday I will smell the EDT so that I can compare it, but I don't really see that happening because I'm more than happy with this. And I think it's a solid buy. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in another one. Thanks. Bye.